If you need boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, to post sexual pictures. What? So I was minding my business on Instagram and I ran into this like text message thread and I'm like, what? What's going on? A friend explained to me it's a text Jonah Hill sent to someone named Sarah Brady. Okay, I don't know who that is. I had to do some research, but anyway, not important. The important piece here is I don't even know what promotes people to post personal things like that. Anyway, these messages are really old. If y'all have researched and saw the dates and seen it, they're really old. However, what's not old is the question, the debate that seems to be on the internet right now as to whether Jonah is being controlling or is he setting boundaries. I don't have any context to this relationship they had. They're no longer together. I have no idea. But what I want to cover today is boundaries or is it controlling? So my goal today is to simplify whether we're setting boundaries or if we're being controlling. Stay tuned. You may have heard the phrase, I need to control the situation, or like, I want to control the situation, or like, I need to make sure I need to control the situation. When you hear or even say these things, as I'm saying it, I feel a bit of like my blood kind of go up a bit, with my blood pressure a bit, and that may be dramatic. But I'm saying that to emphasize when we want to control something. It's usually a place of anxiety. There's a bit of pressure. We want to make sure that things go well for us. So we try to control situations. When control is an issue is when we try to control people. And as a therapist, I tell my clients that we cannot control how people think, feel, the things they say, their opinions, anything like that. So if you're in therapy trying to change others, I am not the therapist for you. That is clear out there. So what is controlling? Controlling is basically wanting to make someone do what you want them to do because you yourself probably feel out of control. And that's controlling. Now, boundaries is different from controlling in a way that boundaries is about you. It's about you trying to keep yourself safe. Boundary is essentially your limit. So an example to differentiate between being controlling or setting a boundary could be controlling. If you keep yelling at me, I am going to make you shut up. Controlling, right? A boundary could sound like, if you keep yelling at me, I'm going to walk away. So can you tell the difference here? The difference basically is with boundaries, you are taking yourself away from the situation. Whereas controlling, you keep yourself in the situation and try to control it. Does it go well all the time? All the time? Maybe not. Okay, so let's go to the streets, aka the internet, for some information. I'm going to cover just that big piece of text message that came through. It starts with plain and simple. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to look and identify to see if each statement is whether it's controlling or it's setting a boundary. So it's a list. Let's take a look. Plain and simple, if you need, surfing with men. I don't know if that's a boundary or if it's controlling. I think it's more if you prefer this. So I'm going to call this category a preference, or this sentence a preference. Now, the next one says, if you need boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men. Okay, so I think that's a bit of a jab here. I don't know. This is, again, we don't have context, but the way it's worded sounds like there's some history here. Okay. If you need to model, all right. So he's putting it a preference. Again, if you need to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit. I don't see anything controlling so far in this list. And here's why I'm saying that. Jonah is not telling Sarah anything to do. He's just listing a list of things he prefers, but is not technically telling her what to do. Okay, but let me keep reading. I need more information. If you need to post sexual pictures, okay, that's by choice. If that's what the person wants to do, they are 100% allowed to do that. If you need friendships with women who are in unstable places and from your wild recent past beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, okay, that's another jab. I'm gonna say there's something that's a loaded statement right there. I think that's, that has more information for us to identify, but we don't have that because we don't live with them or never did and never will, so we won't have this context. And now here Jonah is saying, I am not the right partner for you in these things, and if these things bring you to a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. Let's pause for a second. So Jonah throws the word boundaries in there, right? And that's okay. Maybe some people may feel he's using terms that he's learned in therapy to control the situation. If you've been in therapy for as long as you've been in therapy, especially Jonah, I would expect you would use certain terms. If you're there, you're learning something. You're going to use certain terms. That's fine. This is a very confusing text message because the things that Jonah listed and then going on to say, I am not the right partner for you, to me it's like, wait, at which point in y'all's relationship did you bring this up? And here's why I'm saying it. I'm saying this because in romantic partnerships especially, you need to know certain things that you want and do not want in a partner. And if you are with a partner who, let's say, displays all these things that Sarah supposedly has done, and you didn't communicate that in the beginning of your relationship, and y'all are like 1 year deep and you're expecting them to act differently, then yeah, you're going to have to bring that into conversation and step away because this person is clearly living their life. And for some reason, you had a different idea of them. Or could it be that Jonah, in some point in their relationship, changed and maybe Sarah was always like this. Maybe Sarah had never changed and she's always just been like this, right? And maybe Jonah then had different preferences of what he wants in a partner. He is clearly communicating that. At the end of the sentence, I am not the right partner for you. These things bring you to a place of happiness. He supports whatever it is she's doing. There is no way he's controlling her per se. He is saying, I am going to step away because this is not what he's looking for in a relationship. Now, the last sentence, he sent something else, which said, my boundaries with you based on the ways these actions have hurt our trust. It's a weird sentence for me, but I think what he's saying essentially is whatever boundaries he had with her and whatever actions she took has hurt him. To me, that could be saying someone didn't communicate something. Whether Jonah didn't communicate that some of her activities are hurting his feelings or are problematic for him, she's grown. She can do whatever she wants. I don't think he is saying don't do these things. Again, this is context. This is how I'm reading it. So y'all don't come for me saying I'm taking a side. I'm looking at this message, which looks like bits and pieces of it are missing, first of all. And he's putting boundaries out there. It may sound weird in a way of someone didn't communicate how they were feeling. I don't know who, but with this message here, it sounds like I don't see anything controlling here. As far as like, I don't see Jonah trying to control Sarah in any way with this text message, because he is saying these are my boundaries, and with this list, he is not okay with it and looks like he's gonna step out and he's hurt and his trust is broken. We got to communicate our boundaries from the jump sometimes. So to wrap this up, did Jonah misuse the word boundaries? I don't think he misused it. I think the way he communicated it is very strange because it comes off as if you are a partner of mine that does all these things, I can't be with you. I think he needed to have communicated and maybe articulated in a clearer way of what he is looking for in someone. And so I don't think it's a misuse of the word boundaries. I think it's a misuse in a way of making a list of very specific things that it seems like Sarah may have done to him that hurt him. So I don't know. This is for the streets. This is so interesting that we're even talking about it. But it's boundaries. It's my favorite thing to talk about. And what I will say is, can we be controlling as we're trying to set boundaries? Maybe. If we have certain boundaries and we want to force people to like really, really stick to our boundaries, then that is controlling. If someone does not respect your boundaries, it's your responsibility to walk away, step away, because they are in control of themselves, just like you are in control of yourself. So let me know what y'all think in the comments.